Okay, I have another observation. Um, uh, Tracy Stockman last week? She mentioned the fact that once you adopt certain attitudes of the mind, you open yourself up to the reptilians to invade your space and cause all kinds of havoc. And opening up just means agreement, you know. Uh, when I was in the infant days in the Christianity, it said that it was hammered that one has to keep aside uh, this what I came to know as the five passions: anger, greed, uh, attachment, vanity, and uh, possessiveness. And so it appears that when one harbors um, these tendencies, that they are food for the reptilians. The reptilians have a free meal, feeding off people who express fear, violent emotions, who love blood, to go out there, kill others, and all the like. The reptilians really work with them in close collaboration. And the Christians say that too, in regard to, and that is why they tell you to pray always. Prayer becomes the pillar of their whatever belief or faith. Uh, and then we find what they call the devil, very undisguised, uh, or due to ignorance, they don't know what it means. These are the reptilian gods, who are considered devils. That if you open up to them, they will infect you. They will link up with you and be feeding off you. Because of your own activities. Now, I want to ask: in the new presentation, we don't talk about these tendencies and their importance. Is it that it doesn't matter if we try to control these too?
Okay, is that it?
Yes.
Okay, Charles. So we got to get you to giggle here a little bit. Okay, here's the idea. And at a certain age, you may remember it or not, to where your parents potty trained you. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So again, do we want to constantly go over potty training? These are things that, for the most part, people, everybody has their own life. And I'm not concerned with what anybody does. Paul created restrictions purposely because, again, he was a babysitter. That's what he was. I'm not a babysitter. We're not babysitting anymore. Okay. Now we're getting to it because of, the isness life is mainly, but at the same time, because of what the world is now. 1965 to 2017, the world has changed 1,000%, and so we have to relate to it accordingly. So again, as you focus on these things of corrected nature, just like the chakras and all these other things of the past, the new you is the real connection with the all is. That means everything. It's not focused in a chakra or the body or the glands or whatever. It's not about that. And actually, they're discovering that these things aren't the benefit that they thought they were. People are waking up to this. So again, those things, again, if you eat too much ice cream or whatever, you'll know it, or you don't. It's not about that. It's about the isness. What do I present and basically let people know what to do? What is the best benefit for them? Focus on the isness. Learn what the isness is. And as you do and become involved and become a community supporter, you'll forget these other things. You'll forget chasing women, going to the bars and watching TV all night and just eating pizza. All of a sudden, little by little, you'll start to see, hey, I want to be part of this adventure. I want to see more. I want to get real. I want to be cool, whatever, you see? So, but as we focus on correcting those things, Paul brought those things out because, again, he was the babysitter. It was the potty training days. And this is where the corporation members still are because that's all they want. They want to be potty trained by Joni. They're willing to do that, even though they don't see that it's her controlling it. So, no, we're just very real, Charles. We're just very real. And so I would say it's more fun to be real. And if someone wants to go after those things, go for it. Morals, ethics, and all these things. I'm not going to be sitting here policing and telling people what to do. Don't have time because it's nonsense. Just like in the Marines, when Chris was there, they didn't tell Chris to make his bed. It was already a given. He knew how to make it. And if he didn't, he knew that he didn't make it. Again, maybe the sergeant will look at him funny, but then he'll just walk on. He's not going to tell him to make your bed unless there's something that has to be said. But other than that, it's like, I'll forget it. Let's go. So again, there's a bigger picture here, much, much bigger, much better than it was. So again, that's an individual choice too. And it's what you eat, what you do, anything, what you think, whatever, that's up to you. Or I would say take that time and focus on the isness. Learn to, because again, that is everything and it is endless. There is no end to it. So do you have time?
What is the position of according to his question, what is the position of the new you? Or what do the new yous say about Jesus Christ? So if I can reframe it, what is the new presentation? Talk about Jesus Christ.
Ibok?
So
yeah, I get
yes.
it. Okay. Yes, I get it. Okay, so this is going to cover everything. All right. Yes. So you're going to be asked these questions about Jesus, Muhammad, Rumi, whoever, Paul, Harry, whatever. Okay. It's very, very simple. Go ahead and mute, young man. It's very simple, and that is that if they really want to know, if they're really sincere, if they want to see what Jesus is doing or what have you, and this is where it makes sense, and this is why, again, many people have taken advantage of the boys and Rebazar and that's why they don't appear, because until the person grows up a little bit and wakes up, they don't appear, because they know a lot of people are being silly. But the answer would be, sing the new you, ask Rebazar Tars to show you where Jesus is at and what he's doing. That's all. Or, Muhammad, Rumi, whatever, your God, to meet your God, whatever. Just simply, let them know that, Rebazar is simply, like a travel agent, okay? That's really what he is, and that, when you're sincere and you really want to know, okay, it's not about a criticism of the new presentation, it's about that you really want to know, well, then Rebazar or one of the boys will appear, and they will guide the individual to a certain position, just like what was shown. Rebazar showed people about what's taking place on the planet, and those people that are reading the new books, they are the light. And so the thing is that all the person has to do is sincerely ask, and Rebazar Tars is the travel agent, okay? So they're going to take a little traveling, they're going to take a little travel with Rebazar, but they have to be sincere. They have to sincerely want to see it and recognize it. So, I would use that. Doesn't that sound fun?
Yeah. Yes. I gave him that kind of explicit answer. So I told him about the basic task that he can get all the answers through his dreams, through his dream visions. Then something else happened to his church there.
Yeah, I'm here.
My
I'm here.
friend, okay, my other friend in Lagos woke me up this morning and was that's Otumba. We experienced some kind of what the church people will call the miracle this morning, and he called me and asked me about was Jesus Christ really crucified or something, and he still asked about Jesus. As I was as I was trying to explain to him, because there's a portion in the new book 2 and 6 that that explanation is there. I tried to explain the situation to him. He was following me up, and somebody told him to just open the book. The new book, the copy that you sent was in front of him, and he opened it right to the page that Duane explained something about Jesus' crucifixion and a lot of other things. So at the end, we concluded that the whole thing about Jesus is just like Hollywood movies. So they raise up all those things to market them to the unaware masses. So he was happy to get that kind of experience this morning.
Well, that's great. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. So that's one way. Again, it's going to be different with each person. And some people, they want to know, and then some others, you give them that. It really doesn't matter. Again, this is mind stuff, and all I'm saying here is that you don't need to get into a debate with people unless you want to. They're pretty boring, where you literally go back and forth, and each side tries to be right. It's kind of like the Democrats and the Republicans up there when it's election time and they're saying things back and forth. Well, that's a big show, and it all really equals what? Nothing, okay? And so when we're sitting here debating with people, this is this and this is right and I follow this and whatever, as soon as a person makes a statement, it's like, I believe in Jesus. It's like, okay, all I say is okay. As soon as they made the statement, if they ask some questions and they're sincere, hey, I will take the time, just like here. But if they make a statement, then it's like, okay, have fun. I'm done. The thing is that they've already made their statement. They're not moving from their spot, and I'm not going to try and convince them otherwise. Again, I've said many times, I'm not a used car salesman. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be a used car salesman. But it's fun to be creative, and people that do listen that are interested, yes, that's something. So this is where you feel your way along. You intuitively see what's going on, or you don't. But again, when they make statements, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, I read the Bible, etc. Oh, great, fine, have fun. You see, then I just let them go. It's like, okay, bye. You learn through this process, and again, we're not here to convince anybody. It's just like the little birdies flying around. They don't hop on your shoulder and go, tweet, tweet, tweet. You want to fly? Want to fly with me? I'll show you how to fly. Well, most people don't want to fly. It's like, oh, that's scary. And so most people, they don't want to wake up either. So they've made their statements, and they're fine with it, and we're fine with it too. And so that's where the fun part with your personal self is then you compare every experience you go through with the isness. Keep comparing it. The isness and this, what the best that you see of this isness, like the sun shining, okay, with every experience you're going through. And pretty soon you start to wake up and you start to recognize this isness, and you see, wow, this is a lot better than all this silly stuff that I'm dealing with here and all these ideas. And this is where eventually you become like the boys, to where you don't say nothing after a while. But while we're in the world, yes, we do things, just like Paul, and I'm doing it, and all of you, those of you that are involved, you're doing it too. You do express to this world, because the world is a literal place. It's a literal kingdom is what it is. So while you're here, you do this. But eventually, this is where the boys are in the real side. They simply demonstrate to see if you get the hint. Because if you don't, you don't, because you can't get to the real side anyhow, the real side of things. So, but in the meantime, this is what we do. So this, again, these issues, religious, are always going to come up. You want to be ready for them. And you want to be kind at the same time, but also real. Again, when people make statements, let them have their statement. Let them have it. You're fine. We're fine with everything. Yeah. Just keep that in mind. Just be ready for that. And then you're okay. They're okay. And then you just go on your way. No debate. No hate. No sparks flying. No this or that. No attitudes, etc. For the most part, you just let them be. So anyhow, yeah. Go ahead, Ibiok. Did you have another question or another experience or whatever?
Yes, there's another of my new friend here in Port Harcourt. He's a very young man, and he's into painting works. His testimonies about the new you since he started to read the book that he got from me. It's wonderful, and he's enjoying it. Let me, if I may use the word, he has been calling me. He's very much happy to have started to read the new books. So we still have more experiences too. Like my other friend in Lagos too was sharing something real with me about his job, how he asked the bazaar to help him to get the job, and something happened, and the man that was supposed to give him the contract gave him the job. So all I'm saying is this: a lot of us here are saying that things are bad, and when they call me, they say they want how can they know you help them to get this, to do that. I simply tell them to relax and say they know you and ask for help on the inside. They will see wonderful things in their lives. So a lot of experiences have been going on here.
Yeah, so that the word help, when you define that, it's not about things are done for you. Really, what the individual is asking for is help to understand how they can do it for themselves. You see, there is a difference. So it's not to where, again, these old things from the past where it's all done for you, or it's like, why don't I have a job yet? But it's really, the real guides are providing assistance to a better understanding so that each person can be, how are you going to become self-sufficient if someone else is living your life? So that's what is meant by there is help there, help for you to understand, to see more, to become more aware, so you can do it for yourself. And you can. Yeah. Yeah, so you want to explain that too. Things take a little explanation, but it's not a matter of that, oh, we just do it for you. We find your job, we do your job, and we mow your lawn. No, that's not the idea, but we show you how to do it. Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, I know that the whole world is difficult. All of us have these challenges. They are challenges. They're not problems or issues. They're simply challenges, and it's how we decide to meet it. And this is why we came here, to wake up. It's just very simple. So, again, that's where I'm little by little trying to get the projects off the ground. It's a huge struggle here because of the resistance. And I'm amazed that, we even have Skype. This is great that we even have Skype. So we can talk to the world here. We are talking to the world. If we didn't have Skype, well, I wouldn't know most of your people, because if I just go out there into the public, I'm only going to meet a certain number of people. And then I have to do phone calls or whatever, which I used to, conference calls. But now we have Skype all over the world. So take advantage of this, create groups through Skype or whatever makes sense, or your cell phones, what have you, this communication, do Facebook or what have you, these social medias, because a lot of people are on these, and just share our images, share the ones that, Kelsey makes, or we make, or Chris, or whoever, and just share these images. Just get the world to know who we are and what we're doing, because we support what's real that supports everybody. So this is what we do. And we have no secret agendas, okay, like the governments and that. We're just very real and sincere. That's very important. And with the religious people, for the most part, again, we have the Church of Nature and pray for purity. So when people, that's why I created these things. So when people talk about Jesus or something, and you can just say, yeah, I agree, that's cool. And what we do with the new presentation, when we have time, is, we suggest you pray for purity. We don't pray, but we suggest pray for purity if you're going to pray, okay? But we don't pray, all right? We sing the new you, and we get real guidance, and anybody can, have real guidance to be shown whatever. It's available for everybody. So, yes, Ibo. Was there any other questions or anything, or we're probably going to end it here pretty soon because we're on almost 2 hours now?
Yes, let me share this one. I used to have a lot of friends on Facebook and Twitter. When they get my post, they will react angrily. But I have discovered that a lot of them are not reacting again. They either continue to receive my post or they unbefriend me. But a lot of them are coming up, trying to share. Maybe trying to listen to what I am sharing with them. So I'm happy that a lot of them are trying to see reasons now. There are so many of them are waking up, but they don't want to come up. I mean, those from the corporation within the country, or even outside the country, that are my friends on Facebook and Twitter. Even Instagram. So they have been learning a lot from our postings.
Yes. Well, there's always a transformation that's taking place, and so see the bigger picture again, just like the sun shining upon the earth. Okay, this isness is, and so as we just keep presenting it, eventually people start to recognize it. But in the meantime, it looks like they're here or there. But all these things fade out. So again, while we're here, this is what we do. So, yeah, you're doing great. You're just doing what you can. And so again, you're dealing with their free will, and just have fun with it.